Hello, boys and wonderful girls. Let's talk a little bit about honesty. Honesty is something that we talk about a lot on this channel. It's very much a part of my life philosophy. It's something that I encourage in other people, and you're always welcome to do whatever the hell you want to do. But if you're not down with the idea of honesty, you're probably not going to like this channel. And one thing I like to do with honesty is practice what I call autistic honesty, or you might call it very deep or radical honesty. And I very much enjoy breaking the fourth wall and with all of you, treating you like we're all on the same team. You know, it's not me here as the content creator or the YouTube person telling you what to do. It's all of us kind of hanging out, and I do my best to show the very honest, raw, real, vulnerable side of myself as best as I possibly can. And that's what this video here is going to be about today, complete honesty. I want to start by talking about you. You probably don't realize that you're doing this, but most of you, every single interaction that you have with other people, you are to some degree a little bit needy. And you might not even know that you're doing that. And neediness isn't a bad thing. I'm not here to tell you don't be needy, but it is fun to sort of go down this path to see that almost every person that you meet, even random people that you might meet out on the street, you have subconscious needs, or you believe that you need something from that person. You might be telling yourself, or you subconsciously believe, that you need others to think that you're a good person. Maybe you need society to think that you're a good citizen, a law-abiding citizen, or a good person. Maybe you need your boss to respect you. You know, I would never work somewhere where my boss doesn't respect me, so he needs to respect me, or she needs to respect me. Maybe you probably need your partner to love you, or to have sex with you, or to give you time, or to spend time with you, to give you something. Maybe you need your friends to like you, and you feel like if they don't like me, then that's bad. I need them to like me. I need their approval. Some of you, maybe you feel like you need me, or other people that you might follow, to tell you that you're doing a good job, or to approve of you, or to say, good job, keep it up. Maybe you feel the need to be respected by others. That's something that most people feel entitled to, or they feel that they need. I need the respect of other people. I need society at large to respect me. Maybe you need the opposite sex to find you attractive. Maybe you feel like it's not okay if nobody likes me. I need at least somebody on this planet to like me or to love me. I couldn't be okay if I don't get some form of approval or sex or validation or love or something like that. Maybe you need the opposite gender or whoever you're interested in to find you worthy. Worthy of love, worthy of dating. Maybe if nobody wanted to date you, you wouldn't feel worthy. You'd feel unlovable. You'd tell yourself a story that you're unlovable. Maybe you need others to tell you that you're doing a good job, validation. Maybe you need them to compliment you and make you feel proud of yourself. Maybe you can't feel proud of yourself without other people telling you that you've done a good job. Maybe you feel that love is something that you have to get, that you need others to give it to you. And so you do things that you hope will get you that love. In truth, love is something that's inside you. It's something that's available to you at all times. It's something that you give rather than something that you get. I did a video on this recently about a month ago called Don't Wait for Love, Love is All Around You, where I talked about this exact topic. And all of that is very, very, very normal. Most people believe most of the things that I've just said, that they need other people's approval, that they need other people to respect them, that they need other people to love them, that they need to get love from other people, that they need society to think they're a good person, that they need their family and their friends to like them and want to spend time with them. They need other people to think that they're doing a good job of life. These are very, very, very normal beliefs for 99.9% of the population. But those beliefs, as in those stories of I need this stuff from other people, comes with a lot of stress. You lose or you give up your power if you need approval or love or acceptance from other people. And if you're constantly seeking approval or validation or acceptance or love or like from others, and you're terrified of ever sticking your head up above the crowd because people might think you're weird, or they might not give you that validation, or they might say you're doing life wrong, you're being too weird and unusual. That's why people stick to the rules and they don't experiment. It's why people are so terrified of rejection, because rejection is other people not giving you that approval that you've told yourself, or maybe that you've always felt like you needed from others. It's why I have in my coaching program and in my content, I've talked about this so many times. When you're sitting there wishing that the opposite sex would approve of you, or like you, or want to date you, or want to love you, instead of seeking that from other people, give that stuff to yourself. It's why I talk about what I call mirror therapy, which I didn't come up with that idea. My spiritual coach, Keith, gave that idea to me. Go into the bathroom, you look into your own eyes in the mirror, and you say, I love you, to yourself. And at first, that can be very intimidating. That can feel a little unusual, a little weird. It can be quite scary. But if you practice that a little bit every day, you eventually do start to love yourself. You start to really, really like yourself at first, and then you start to love yourself, and then you have kindness and compassion and forgiveness towards yourself. And you realize that you're just doing your best, and sometimes you're not perfect, and that's okay. In fact, that's part of being a human. And you forgive yourself for your supposed mistakes. In fact, you realize there was nothing to forgive in the first place. You didn't make any mistakes. You were just learning and trying things and experimenting and trying to figure out this life thing. And when you get to that stage of self-love and self-acceptance, you don't care if other people love you or not. You like when they love you. And if they don't love you, you go, that's okay. I love me. It's okay. Something else that I give a lot of people is what I call 50 things about yourself that are likable. And for this, you just get out a big piece of paper, or you can do it on your computer. You write down 50 things about yourself that are likable. And it's okay if that takes you a little bit of time. Some people that I've given this exercise to take months to fill out 50 things because, yeah, it can be difficult to give yourself that approval, especially if you're not used to it. But you write out this list of 50 things, and then if somebody doesn't want to date you, or they reject you, or they're not interested in you, or they don't want to be your friend, or they don't want to spend time with you, you go back to this list of 50 things and you look at it and you go, you know what? There's 50 things about me that are likable. It's okay that this person doesn't like me. I like me. And maybe someone else out there will like me. And if nobody likes me, which by the way is never the case, but if nobody else out there likes me, that's okay, because at least I like me. And there's all these sort of exercises that I give people and that I've talked about on this channel that help you get to that point of self-love and non-neediness, you might call it, or letting go of the attachment to needing other people's validation, love, acceptance, approval, all of that kind of stuff. And when you believe the lie or the story, the narrative, that you need things from others, that you need their approval, you need them to like you need them to spend time with you need them to give you sex, you need them to give you money, you need all this stuff from them, that's a very stressful way to live life. And when you believe that, it leads to what most people do, which is a very safe, average, maybe you'd say complacent life. And fine, if you want to live an average life, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you how to live your freaking life, right? But for me personally, I wanted something a little bit more than the average life. I didn't want to just do what everybody else was doing. And a big part of living a life that's a little different from what others are doing, whether that's having a more fulfilling sex life, or having more money, or starting your own business, or losing weight and loving your body. Even just the concept of self-love is something that most people in society do not do. Happiness, peace, joy, love, spirituality, any of these concepts are things that most people don't do. If you want these sort of things, which a lot of you do, and again, if you don't, beautiful. I want you to want whatever you want. But if you want these things, if you want that above average or slightly different life from the average, it can help to let go of some of that attachment that you might have to validation or approval from other people. Because if you're going to live a life that's different from the average, there will be people that don't approve of that, that tell you that that's wrong, that don't pat you on the head and tell you that they're proud of you. In fact, they tell you the opposite. They tell you that you're doing it wrong. They tell you that you shouldn't be having that much sex, or that sex is a fucking sin. They tell you that money is the root of all evil. Why are you trying to build a business? That's horrible. They will tell you that everything you're doing is wrong just because it's different. And with that comes the beautiful experience of letting go of some of that attachment that you have to the approval of others. Because when others disapprove of you and you see that everything's okay, then the only person that's left to get approval from is yourself. You are the one that lays your head down on the pillow at night and thinks about all the decisions that you made that day. And it almost doesn't matter what other people think of your decisions. They're going to think whatever they're going to think. You're the one that has to deal with the consequences when you lay your head down on that pillow at night. You're the one that has to look into your own eyes in the mirror and figure out whether or not you love yourself, or whether or not you like yourself, or whether or not you're even just okay with the decisions that you've made. And you are essentially the judge of your own life. Other people will tell you that they're the judge of your life. Other people will judge you. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You're the one that's in your own head 24/7. You're the one that has to live your life. And the biggest regret that people have when they get to the end of their life, the number one regret that people have is, I wish I had lived a life that was more true to myself instead of the life that others wished for me. That is the number one regret that human beings have when they're on their deathbed. There's an entire book about this. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And that is the number one regret. I wish I had done what I wanted instead of what others wanted me to do. And so if you can let go of some of that neediness and that validation seeking and that attachment to what other people want for you or what you think they want for you, man, you get to live a much more free life. If you can let go of the neediness of others to like you, love you, give you something, respect you, spend time with you, or tell you that you're attractive, or give you their fucking sexuality or any of that, man, that is so freeing. All right, so I hinted at the start of the video that I was going to break the fourth wall and be very honest, and I thought it might be fun to go over some of the needy thoughts that I've had with you, my audience and my clients and this community. So over the last maybe 6 months or a year, anytime I've had a thought in my head of like, oh, I wish people would, or I need them to, or they should, or I want them to, like any of those kind of thoughts, when it's related to you, the audience, like literally you listening right now, I've written them down and I've worked through them and let go of my attachment to them. And I thought it might be fun for me to go through with all of you the things that I used to be, or sometimes still am, attached to, and what I'm doing about it. Because I say this all the time, I'm not perfect. None of you are perfect. The mission never was to be perfect. We don't have to sit there and let go of all attachment and be beautiful little fucking Buddhist monks who are non-needy and outcome independent, and we have a I don't give a fuck attitude, and we're all perfect little alpha males and alpha females, and everything is wonderful and sunshine and rainbows, and we're immaculate all the time. No, that was never really my goal. My goal has always been to make progress and not be perfect. I say all the time, progress, not perfection. Give yourself permission to suck. Just take a little baby step every day towards your goals. Aim to be a little bit better each week. All of that kind of stuff. And so along with that, I'm not perfect. So here's some of the needy thoughts that I have either had in the past or had more recently or completely let go of. The very first one that I had for the longest time with my YouTube channel, with my blog, and with my podcast and the community is I need you to like me. I need you to think that I'm cool, that I'm interesting, that I'm fun, that I'm kind of funny sometimes, that I'm maybe handsome, or at least not completely ugly. I need you to some degree to like me, to go, I like that Andy guy. He's all right. He's interesting, or he's helpful, or he's cool, or he's interesting. Like, I like him. He's okay. He's pretty good. That's what I needed for the longest time. And anytime someone didn't give me that, like they said, hey, you're bald, you're ugly, you're a ginger, you're stupid, you should kill yourself, you're a fucking loser, you're pathetic, any of these kind of things, it really fucking hurt because I was so attached to the idea that I need people to like me. It wasn't that their comment hurt. It was the story I had around their comment. It was, holy shit, this person doesn't like me. What if other people don't like me? What if I can't get people to like me? What if everybody thinks I'm a fucking loser and they just all haven't told me? They all think that I'm fucking ugly or unworthy, or that I don't deserve love, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, and I don't deserve happiness. And so it was all those stories and my attachment to those stories that hurt. And over the last probably, 4 years of doing this shit, having a blog, a YouTube channel, a podcast, it's been the most beautiful experience because every time someone says a negative comment, it's a beautiful little chance to get in there and say, okay, is there any neediness that I still have? do I still have a little bit of attachment to needing other people to like me? And is this negative comment helping me let go of that attachment and learn to like myself? And so anytime someone has sent me a negative comment or a negative email or just whatever it might be, that's been a beautiful fucking experience. And I'm grateful for all of them. Now, I don't respond to any of them. I don't keep them on the channel because I want this channel to be positive vibes. We're all beautiful hippies having a good time. I want this to be a self-improvement community and channel and, like I said, greater community. And so I don't keep negative. I don't keep comments there that don't have that same energy of like, hey, let's all help each other. Let's build something beautiful together. Let's improve our lives and all of that. So I delete the comments. But each one of those that I get, I do that little bit of work first where I'm like, how can this benefit me? How can this negative comment or this like angry comment or whatever it is, how can this benefit me and help me let go of some of that neediness and that attachment to having people like me? And that has been the most beautiful experience. And I know for a lot of you, you probably don't have your own freaking YouTube channel or community or something where you get the beautiful privilege of being insulted and being criticized all the time so that you have a chance to let go of that neediness and that attachment to people liking you. But you can slowly do it little bit by little bit when you're out there dating. Somebody doesn't want to date you, or they unmatch you on Tinder or something, or they tell you they're not interested in you. Use that as a beautiful experience if you want to let go of some of that story of like, I need this person to like me, or I need everyone to like me. So many of you are terrified of rejection because you're terrified of the idea that someone out there might not like you, or a lot of people out there might not like you. I'm here to tell you in no uncertain terms, a lot of people won't like you. You're just not that great. All of you are beautiful human beings. You're all beautiful, amazing, individual, wonderful snowflakes, just like I am. Aren't we all, wonderful little people? But not everyone's going to like you. You're really just not that special. I'm just not that special. None of us are really that special. And that can be freeing, to take away this need or this desire for everyone on the fucking planet to like you. Oh my God, is that so freeing? One of my favorite quotes ever is from Byron Katie, and it's this: if I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. Amen. It's so unbelievably freeing to slowly, and it is a slow process, at least it was for me, to slowly let go of that need for other people to approve of you, or like you, or validate you, or tell you that you're handsome, or pretty, or attractive, or hot, or sexy, or young, or youthful, or cool, or interesting, or athletic, or smart, or intelligent, or good at fucking whatever it is that you do, or give you that pat on the head at work and say, good job, little boy, or good job, little girl, you're so good at your job, you're doing such a good job. Like, to let go of that, holy crap, is that freeing. And more than anything, it then allows you to actually connect with your fellow human beings, because when you're sitting there hoping that they will like you, or that they will find you attractive or pretty or cool or interesting or smart or whatever, you're not present. You're in your own head. You're filtering everything that you say, whether you realize you're doing it or not. You're hoping that you say the right thing. You're hoping that you don't say anything too stupid. You're playing it safe. You're playing not to lose, rather than playing to win, rather than being your true authentic self who just says whatever he or she means, that deep honesty, that deep vulnerability. You're trying too hard to just not fuck it up. And that's not fun. That's stressful. That's you playing it safe and trying to fit in and trying to get something from the other person, trying to use the other person for validation. And again, when you're in that mindset, you're then not present with the person. You're certainly not in the mindset of giving to them. It's very hard to give to another person. It's very hard to love another person, to share love with them, like deep, authentic, unconditional love for your fellow human beings. It's very hard to do that when you're very, very, very scared that they won't like you or that they won't approve of you. And if you can let go of this attachment and just be with another person, whether that's romantically or a friend or just a random person that you meet on the street, if you're able to let go of the need for them to like you, holy fuck, then you're free to just love them, or to be present with them, or to listen to them and actually listen, rather than listening and then thinking of what you're going to say next. And this was the biggest game changer for me, letting go of needing you, any of you, to like me, letting go of my clients to like me, letting go of Imogen, like needing Imogen to like me, letting go of my family to like me, letting go of this need to have anyone on the planet like me or love me. Oh my God, that freed me up so much. Like I'm saying, I could then just sit on a coaching call and listen to the person, actually deeply listen to them, and not be worried about how do I look like an expert? How do I make sure they know I'm a good coach? How do I make sure they know that I have all the right answers? Being okay with saying, I don't really know what the right answer is. You'll hear me say that a lot in coaching. I don't have all the answers. You'll hear me say that a lot in content. I don't know everything. I'm not your dad. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. How could I possibly know everything? I'm just some dude on the internet, you know? And letting go of that desire or that need to make you like me, to make you approve of me, to make you, tell me that I'm fucking smart or that I'm intelligent, that I'm good at this shit, that I know what I'm doing. No. Letting go of all of that means I can actually just listen to you and see you as a human being and listen to what it is that you have to say, listen to what you're struggling with, try and come up with an answer. And if I can't think of an answer, I'll tell you that and we'll brainstorm together. It actually allows me to come up with a solution rather than a solution that I think makes me sound good. Most people in society, especially people in power, like politicians and people on the news, media, any expert that you will ever listen to, most content creators, most people who have a degree, just most people in general are so busy and working so hard to try and look like an expert. I mean, they'll literally label themselves an expert. Imagine labeling yourself an expert. What a strange concept that is to me. The second you label yourself an expert, your mind shuts down. You don't continue to learn. You're literally saying, I know enough. I don't need to know anymore. But if you can say, I'm a student, I'm always learning, I'm going to be humble enough to say there's a lot I don't know, your mind is open and you receive new information. And if you're proven wrong, you had a belief and it's proven wrong, you go, holy shit, that's amazing. I'm glad you proved me wrong. Holy shit, I get to learn something. You're not so busy defending your opinion and trying to get other people to think that you're an expert or a genius or you're smart or you're likable or you're cool or whatever. If you can let that neediness go, you learn and you improve. The very first step of improving is humility, being humble. I phrase it as give yourself permission to suck. That's what give yourself permission to suck is for. That's why I say it all the time. It's humility. It's letting go of the neediness or the attachment to having other people tell you that you're doing a good job or that you're an expert at something. So many of you don't take those baby steps towards a new goal or towards your self-improvement or towards going out there and talking to women or getting a new job or starting a business or any of these things. So many of you have all these hopes and dreams and you haven't done anything to start on them. Why? Because you're attached to other people telling you that you're good at something. I have heard 10,000 times someone will tell me, I have this goal, but I can't get started on it because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to be good at this. What the fuck is that? I mean, that's neediness right there. But that's being attached to or needing other people to tell you that you're doing a good job, that you're good at that thing. Most people are so utterly terrified of sucking at something, of looking like they don't know what they're doing, of looking like a fool, of looking like an idiot, of making a mistake, of stumbling, of embarrassing themselves, that they never get started. And that comes from that neediness of needing other people to think you're good at something. That's why I say, give yourself permission to suck. It's okay if you look like a fucking idiot. I've looked like a fucking idiot 10,000 times. It's why I'm successful. I have failed more times than you have even tried. I have looked like an idiot. I have embarrassed myself 10 trillion times. I just don't care. I'm very okay with looking like an idiot. I don't need other people to think that I'm good or that I'm an expert. And that is something that has taken me, like I said, maybe like fucking 15 years. And I've worked on it very seriously for the last like 4 or so years of letting go of this desire or this attachment to having other people approve of me and like me and think I'm an expert. So if that is something that you would like to let go of yourself, my best advice would be patient with it. Like, it's probably something that you've spent your entire life being attached to. I need other people to like me, to approve of me, to think I know what I'm doing, to think I'm doing a good job, to think I'm an expert. I can't get rejected because then I might be embarrassed. I can't have an awkward silence. How many of you are terrified of having an awkward silence? And so your answer to that is like, oh shit, I need to memorize everything that I could possibly say. I need to ask Andy, what should I say on a date? I did a video recently, what to say on a date. And I started the video by saying, say whatever the fuck you want. There is no perfect conversation skill to say. But you're also, or so many of you are very, and I used to be, attached to this idea of like, if I could just know the perfect thing to say, then I wouldn't get embarrassed. I wouldn't ever look like an idiot. And then the other person would approve of me. They'd say that I'm doing a good job. And everybody around me would be like, good job. You're really good at conversation. But if you can let that go and be okay with looking like a fool, be okay with looking like an idiot, be okay with looking like you don't know what you're talking about all the time, oh my fucking God, is that beautifully freeing. And then funnily enough, when you give yourself permission to suck, most of the time you do an amazing job, or at least a decent job, because you're not so stuck in your own head. You're not trying to get something from the other person. You're not trying to get their approval or take their fucking validation. Please give me validation. Give to me. Take. Give it to me. I need to get it. No, you can just sit there and go, I don't care if you don't like me, and if you get up from this table and walk away and we never see each other again and you think I'm a fucking loser, that's okay. I don't care if you think I'm the dumbest person on the entire fucking planet, that's okay. And when you let go of all of that neediness, you can just sit there and be present. And guess what? You come across really peaceful. You come across as a man or a woman who actually likes themselves, which is why I said go do the mirror therapy or write that list of 50 things about yourself that are likable. You come across as a person who likes themselves. And it's so easy to sit in the company, to be present with or to be with someone who likes themselves. It's so unbelievably peaceful to be in the company of someone who just feels peaceful. You can't help but have that rub off on you almost by osmosis. And so if you can get to this point where you let go of a lot of your neediness to having other people approve of you, like you, love you, all of that shit, you just come across as this like Zen Buddhist monk who doesn't care. That's another way that people phrase it. They're like, wow, this guy or this girl just has a like, I don't give a fuck attitude. It's so freeing, man. It's like they don't care. Yes, literally, they don't care. That is literally the point. You let go of that attachment or that neediness or that desire. And again, this is a process. This has taken me a long time. I have read a lot of books. Probably the best book to read is I Need Your Love. Is that true? This book right here, I Need Your Love, Is That True? How to Stop Seeking Love, Approval, and Appreciation and Start Finding Them Instead. And I'll give you the little secret where she says, and start finding them instead, as in start finding love, approval, and appreciation. Her answer to that is you give it to yourself, as I said before. Like if you want love from other people, why don't you go first, you hypocrite? Give yourself that love. If you want approval from other people, why don't you go first and give yourself approval? You want appreciation. How about you start appreciating yourself? Like how many of you appreciate yourself and love yourself and give yourself approval? I'm going to guess 1% of you, It's a very low percentage thing. But if you can start doing that and give yourself that love, that validation, that appreciation, that acceptance, holy fuck, even if you could just give yourself some self-acceptance, my God, is the world a much more kind, free, and less stressful and more peaceful, beautiful place. And like I said, you accidentally find that people just want to spend more time with you because you like yourself. As soon as you let go of this fucking neediness for other people to love you and like you, a weird thing happens. It's not weird when you've done it, but it feels weird at first. Other people start loving you and liking you more. It's very easy to love the person who doesn't need anything from you. If I just sit with you and you get the sense that I don't need anything from you and I'm not trying to get something from you, and in fact, I'm just happy to be around you and I want to give to you. I actually want to give to you because I'm so okay with being myself, because I don't need your love. I don't need your appreciation. I don't need your approval. I'm just happy to fucking chill with you and try and make your life better. When you get that sense, when you're with someone like that who just wants to give to you and doesn't need anything and isn't trying to get something from you, holy fucking shit, you want to spend more time with that person. That person feels like some sort of saint or some sort of like Buddhist monk or something, like some sort of spiritual god. You just want to spend all your bloody time with that person. And how can I spend more time with you? Because you're amazing. And that comes from letting go of this attachment to having other people like you, love you, approve of you, blah, blah, blah. And so again, this has been a process for me. It took me a long time. I'm not perfect with that. But for the most part, I don't need you or anyone else to like me or to love me. I love when you love me. That feels really nice. That's a beautiful exchange, isn't it? And then I can love you back, and that's fucking magical. But if you fucking hate me, then I'm like, hey, that's beautiful. That's a chance for me to let go of even more of my neediness and my attachment. So love me, hate me, it's all beautiful. I appreciate all of it. Next one that I often used to have, I hinted at this before, but I need you to think that I'm smart. I don't have this anymore. I haven't had this for years, but holy crap, I had this for the first 2 years of doing this content, like doing my blog over on killyourinnerloser.com. The first 2 years of writing articles, I was trying so hard to get people to think I'm smart. Like I would literally use very big, eloquent, flowery language to literally be like, wow, look at, I'd bust out the can't even say the fucking word. I would bust out the thesaurus and look up synonyms and try and get smarter sounding words. So y'all would be like, wow, look at this fucking Andy guy. Like he's so fucking smart, man. How did he get so intelligent? I bet his IQ is it's got to be over 130, dude. Like, wow, this guy's probably some sort of genius. Like literally I was fucking jacking my dick off and going I mean, not literally, but I was essentially mentally jacking myself off going, wow, I'm so fucking smart. I bet these little fuckers think I'm so fucking smart. And that was something that I reasonably quickly let go of, maybe in the second year. And the way that I let go of it was, I mean, it wasn't intentional. I just got humbled a whole bunch of times. There was so many articles that I wrote where I was very fucking certain of what I was saying. And then someone else would come along and be like, hey, Andy, I tried your advice. Here's evidence that I tried your advice. It didn't work for me. And I was like, huh. And that happened a whole bunch of times. And then someone else would come in and be like, hey, Andy, I know that you said that your way is the only correct way of doing it. I used to say that in some of my old articles. Like, Jesus Christ, I cringe when I look back at that. I used to be so cute. I used to be so fucking adorable. I'm pretty adorable now, but I used to be so goddamn adorable back then. I was certain that I had all the answers, and I was doing everything I could to get those answers across to all of you. And yeah, anyway, sometimes people would come in and say, hey, I know you said this was the only way to do it, but I actually did this other thing. And look, here's evidence that it worked. And I was like, huh. So I wasn't correct. I might have been correct in what I said, but they're also correct. It's not one or the other. It's not one of us is correct and the other one is wrong. Maybe there's multiple ways of doing dating or self-improvement or, any of the losing weight, whatever. It all culminated in a coaching client of mine, Ed, who I've shown on the channel quite a lot of times. If you just search for Kill Your Inner Loser Ed, that's Ed as in ED, you can see all the interviews I've done with him. Look at this beautiful boy. He's now a coach in my coaching program. He has come such a long way. When I first met him, he was a 31-year-old virgin. Anyway, point is, long story short, I was coaching him. This is 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I was coaching him and I was giving him a whole bunch of advice. And we got to this point where I was like, hey, do this. And I told him that for 5 weeks in a row. I was like, do this, do this, do. I just kept saying the same thing. Just keep doing this piece of advice. And he kept trying and trying and trying. And we had one coaching call. I remember it very vividly. He does too. And I've talked about this many times. So he's comfortable with me sharing this. He was sitting in his car. And for the fifth week in a row, I said, hey, have you done the thing that I keep telling you to do? And he literally broke down in tears. And he was like, I can't do it. You keep telling me to do this thing. It's not me. I can't do it. It's just not something that I'm capable of. And I was at basically a crossroads in that moment where I wanted to just say to him, stop arguing, shut up and do what I'm telling you. I'm the coach. I'm the expert. I'm smart. You're dumb. He's not dumb. He's one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. But, I'm the expert. You're just a fucking pleb who's coming to me as a 31-year-old virgin. Shut up and listen to me. I'm the expert. You're the fucking 31-year-old virgin coming to me for help. That was option A. Option B was I take a little dose of a little pill we like to call humility, and I admit that what I'm telling him to do isn't working for him. And we go back to the drawing board and try something else. And I'm looking at this beautiful human being, again, look at this absolutely fucking legendary, beautiful, look at that beautiful fucking man. I'm looking at beautiful Ed sitting in his car, a little tear coming down the side of his face. And I'm thinking in that moment, do I just yell at him and double down and tell him to do what I fucking say because I'm the expert? Or do I actually be humble enough to listen to this human being who's trying to tell me something and who's in a lot of pain and is trying to share that with me? And I looked into Ed's eyes and I said very quietly, okay. Okay, we can try something else. And everything inside me wanted to say, no, he's wrong. I'm smart. I'm the smart one. He's supposed to respect me. I'm the coach. Why won't he fucking listen to me and respect me? But I was just like, okay. What would you like to try? And he sat there for quite a long time, and I sat there for quite a long time, and we didn't really say much. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know either. That was one of the few times where I've ever, or the first time, that was one of the first times I ever, as a coach or as, part of this community, I ever just said, I don't know either, man. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. And we tried a whole bunch of stuff, and guess what? Ed, as we've talked about many times on this channel, then eventually went on to lose his virginity. He met a whole bunch of amazing women, had all these beautiful experiences. Last year in 2023, he had sex with, I can't even fucking remember, something insane. It was like he fooled around with like 60 women and ended up having sex with like 40 of them because he's very like picky. So he made out with a whole bunch, but then he's like, I don't think I really like their personalities, so I won't date them. But he had sex with like 30 or 40 women. It's like an insane amount of women. Ended up almost being one new woman every single week. And he's now a coach in the coaching program and all that beautiful stuff. And the only reason that we continued coaching together was because I was able to let go of this neediness and this attachment to him or my coaching clients or you, thinking that I'm smart or that I'm the expert or that I know what I'm doing. I had to in that moment, or I chose to in that moment, say, I don't know. Fine, I don't have all the answers. My advice might not work for you. This might not be the best way of doing things. It's clearly not. You're having a fucking breakdown and you've tried for 5 weeks to do this, but you just can't do it. Maybe we need a different answer. And from that pivotal turning point, that's when I really started to embrace humility and the idea that maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I don't have all the answers. I'm a guy that figured out his sex life and his spiritual life and his happiness and his mental health and, overcoming depression and suicide and all of that in my early 20s. I'm a guy that's figured out how to coach people, how to build a business, how to make money, how to have a beautiful relationship. Imogen and I have been together for 6 years, and there's another girl that we've been dating for over a year now. I figured all that stuff out, right? But that doesn't mean that what I've done is the only way to do those things. It doesn't mean that those things are necessarily something that you want to do. A lot of you don't want an open relationship. Most of the clients that come to me just want to have a monogamous relationship with marriage and kids. They don't want all this fancy fucking BDSM, threesome, open relationship shit. Or maybe they want to do it for a couple of years and have fun with that and explore it, and it can be a beautiful chapter of their life. But then they just want a wife and kids and a dog and a nice little house and a beautiful life. And just, that's what they want. And so for a lot of you, my answers, like the answers for my life, might not be the answers for yours, which is why I say this is just what I've done. I'm not telling you what to do. You got to figure out what you want to do. And I'll help you with that, obviously. But this is your life. And so letting go of that neediness to have other people think that I'm smart or intelligent, holy fuck, that is the reason why Ed has done, like, I'll phrase that in a different way. That's the only reason that Ed and I are still fucking friends and he's a coach in my coaching program and he's done all the shit that he's done. If I had in that moment said, no, I'm smart, I'm the coach, I'm the expert, listen to me, you're not listening to me, you're being a bad client, he would have left. He's told me that. I knew that in the moment. It was so fucking clear that if I kept pushing him, he would have just said, no, I can't do this. Goodbye. And I've had plenty of other clients, same thing, where it's like we came to a point where I could have pushed them and I instead let go of everything, let go of my neediness. And I just said, okay, what would you like? What can I give you? What can I do for you? How can I help you? Another attachment that I had for a long time, I've given it up now, but I had it for probably I'll just say I had it for most of my life. And I think it's what most people have. But I definitely have gotten rid of it in the last maybe 2 years, is I need you, and I used to need everyone on the entire planet, to think that I'm a kind person, that I'm a good person, that I have positive karma, that I'm generous or compassionate or just nice. I really used to need that from all of you and from people outside, especially as I started getting into the spirituality stuff and started to talk more about honesty and compassion and leaving women better than we found them and adding to the lives of people in our circle. As I started to explore these concepts more, I had a strong attachment that I need people to think that I'm so great. I need a pat on the head and for people to tell me wow, Andy, you're so honest and kind and compassionate and you're such a good person. And so again, letting go of that was so fucking freeing because, yeah, I said this before. I'm in such a beautiful position as a content creator that people will tell you that you're a fucking asshole. I've done videos where I literally just talk about like peace and love. Like for the whole video, I will sit there for 30 minutes and just be like, I love you and I love everyone and let's all love each other together and let's build a beautiful, world full of happiness and compassion and kindness and generosity and it will be amazing and we can all fucking give each other a hug and love each other. I'll do that video and then someone will be like, you're a fucking fraud. You're an asshole, Andy. You're a bald fucking piece of shit and I hope you're miserable. And I'm like, I don't think I could have been any more loving in that video. And that was the video that caused you to say that I'm not loving or kind. If that makes you think that I'm not loving and kind, what the hell do you think of like my BDSM content? I mean, my BDSM content's pretty loving and kind too. But like, if you're triggered by the video about love and compassion and kindness, I can't do any better than that. And so that's been such a beautiful experience to get those negative or those, I don't like the word negative because, it's negative. But I don't like to call it negative because that can be kind of judgmental. But like the comment where the person is telling me that I'm a fucking piece of shit, those kind of comments, the angry comments, getting those beautiful comments has allowed me to go, okay, you know what? I give up trying to make people think that I'm kind. I give up trying to have people think that I'm a good person. I don't care if people think that I'm lovely or a nice person or a good guy. I don't care if some chick on Tinder or some person in the audience or you think that I'm a piece of shit. That's okay. In fact, I want you to think whatever it is that you want. I want you to think I'm a piece of shit if that's what you want to think. I want you to think that I'm a great person if that's what you want to think. At the end of the day, it's all just your opinion. None of that actually has anything to do with me. That was another realization I had. It's something that Byron Katie says a lot. You've never actually met another person. Like you can't get to really know someone. You think that you can. You think you've met all your friends and family and your lovers and your intimate partners and you think you've met me. You haven't. You've never spent a single second inside anybody else's head but yours. And we make so many assumptions about who they are or what their intent is or what they want or what they're thinking. We try and mind read or guess. We have to fill in the blanks a lot, right? Because we're not in their head. Like we all do it. We have to like guess what they might be thinking or why they're doing something or what it is, like who they are as a person. We have to try and figure that out and guess that. And so you've never actually really deeply, authentically met someone the same way that you can meet yourself, that you know yourself, right? Because you're in your own head 24/7. You really know yourself very well, but you don't really know anyone else that well. And so realizing that means you can then come to see that if someone likes you or they don't like you or they think you're a good person or they think you're a bad person, they don't actually fucking know you. They don't know your intent. They don't know that you're trying to do your best, that you're not trying to be a fucking asshole. You just don't know any better. You're not trying to make mistakes. You just don't know any better. And I don't believe there are mistakes, but blah, blah, blah. You're trying to do your best, like you are. Every human being on this planet is trying to do the best that they can with what they have at that point in time. Doesn't mean that everyone's doing the world's best job of it, but everybody's trying their best. And so if somebody thinks you're a good person or a bad person, they don't really know you. And realizing that brought me a lot of freedom. Another need that I have, and this is probably just a pretty small one. This wasn't that big. But for a while there, I had this idea that I need people to like, I need people to subscribe, I need people to like leave comments, I need people to build the channel with me. I never actually, funnily enough, asked for it. Maybe like 10 videos ever out of my collection of like what? There's like 500, 600 videos on this channel. Maybe like 10 times ever I said, if you would like to like this video or subscribe, that would be amazing. It's just something I never really asked for. I could sense that neediness and I was like, I don't want to be needy. If people want to subscribe to the channel, that's beautiful. If they don't, that's beautiful. I don't want them to do it because I asked them to. I want them to do it because they want to. And so that was only like a small need, but fun to mention. And similar to that, I had one of like, I need people to watch my videos. I definitely had that for a long time. I won't say I've fully let go of that one, but I've let go of most of that one. What I mean by that is I used to care a lot about the view count on each video. And I'd be like, wow, this video only has like 50 views, but this one has like 500. Like, fuck, like, how can I make sure that everyone watches all my videos an equal amount? Again, this isn't something that I've completely let go of, but I would say mostly, like maybe 80% I've let go of that. If a video gets 150 or 200 views, Amazing, cool. That's 200 people that at least found it mildly interesting enough, and maybe it helps them, which is my mission. Again, when you let go of neediness, and as I've let go of my neediness with you, I've then been able to focus on giving to you and trying to help you and trying to love you rather than trying to get your validation or get your approval or get you to watch my video or get you to subscribe or get you to give me money. And that moves me on to the next one. For the longest time, and I'll be very honest and transparent, this is still one that I have. So I haven't fully let go of this one. I needed, and to some degree still do need, right? I tell myself that I don't need you to do anything, but the temptation is there to say I need you to give me money so I can pay my bills. So I can pay my bills, Imogen's bills, Cam's bills, the big tax debt that we're still paying off. For the longest time, I believed I needed you to give me money. And this is something that, oh my God, I have worked on so much. I will show you how much I have worked on this. On the screen right now, you can see one of the most obscure books I have ever found. This book is very hard to track down. I had to buy it on eBay, a used copy. It's Byron Katie, and the book is called On Work and Money. And it is a book about letting go of your neediness when it comes to money and needing other people to give you money and pay your bills and all of that. This is something that I have worked on with so many sessions with my spiritual coach, Keith. He and I have talked about money like a ton of times. Imogen as well has read this same book and worked with Keith and other coaches about her attachment to money, when it comes to all of you. Like, I need these guys and girls to give us money. We got to pay the bills. Like, we can't keep doing this unless they pay us. Like, fuck, how are we going to make next month's bill? All of that kind of stuff. I read every single Mother Teresa book. And Mother Teresa, if you don't know, her basic philosophy or her basic mission in life was to give love, give food to the homeless and to people in poverty, give appreciation and approval for people who, maybe approval is not the right word, give appreciation and gratitude to people who just didn't really get that because they're in poverty or they're unloved or everyone's forgotten about them. She was a big giver. Her biggest philosophy was give until it hurts. I don't like to say give until it hurts. I wouldn't want you to do something that hurts, but give until it's a little bit uncomfortable is how I say that. And reading all of her stuff helped me focus on what I actually care about, which is giving to you, rather than give me or get money from you. And so this was one that, again, I have let go of, let's say, 60% of it. I just pulled that number out of my ass, but I think I've let go of about 60% of my attachment to needing to get money from you, believing that I need to get money from you. There's still a fair bit there, which is why I read this book. There you go. I kissed Byron Katie on the face. Her husband won't mind, I'm sure. I read this book probably once a week. It's a short little book, and I just read through it and remind myself. I talk to Keith, my spiritual coach, about it. I am here now talking to all of you, and I've talked about this in content before. And I focus and double down on giving to you. And anytime I feel myself believing or starting to believe that oh fuck, I need to get money from these people. I need to do a really good coaching pitch so I can get money from them. I need these motherfuckers to give me money. Otherwise, how am I going to pay next month's bills? Anytime I feel myself feeling like that or wanting to give into that, I go, take a deep breath. How can I give? How can I give to these beautiful people? How can I give to my fellow human beings instead of trying to take? How can I practice generosity? How can I take that leap of faith? And oh my fucking God, you don't know how many months it has been a leap of faith where I'm like, if I just give, then my bills will be provided for. And that has been the most terrifying, scary thing that I think I've probably ever done in my entire life, including all the wild shit that I did, like the Approach Anxiety program and starting this community, all of that shit, going to jail, none of that, all of that pales in comparison compared to taking that leap of faith basically every month over the last 4 years to just go, if I just give, my bills will be paid for. I will be okay. It's like a fucking trust in my fellow human beings. It's a trust in the universe. It's a trust that it's a trust in I can never say this, reciprocity. I can never say that. Giving and receiving. If I give to people first, some of them will pay my bills. If I can really help them and change their life and give them so much value, some of them will help me pay the bills. And that has come true every month for the last 4 years. even in the months where I was utterly convinced that we wouldn't be able to pay the bills. And there were a lot of them in the first couple of years, less so these days, but there's still quite a few months these days where it's like, holy fuck, like I really hope someone signs up soon. Oh my God, I'm going to keep doubling down on giving. I'm going to make even more content and try and change people's lives even more and just hope to fuck that we can pay the bills, this month or the next month. And then every single time, without fail, when I give, it comes back. And so again, I'm only maybe 60% of the way through giving this one up, my neediness to money, my neediness to like get money from you. Give me money, you little fuckers. Like, I've had that thought sometimes. I've literally had that thought sometimes. I've talked about that with Imogen, where we will go for a big walk, we'll be talking through everything, and I'll be like, I know it's not loving, I know it's not peaceful, I know it's not joyful, it's not very spiritual of me, but that's fine. But I have this thought, like, I wish these fuckers would just pay my goddamn bills this month so I can just relax and do a nice video and I don't have to fucking like, she'll be like, I know, honey, it's okay. I have that thought too sometimes. And then I'll take a deep breath, we'll work through it, and I'll be like, all right, I love my audience. I love you. I love you guys and girls. How can we give to them? Even though right now everything in our brain is saying, how can we get, how can we take, how can we use, how can we pay the bills? Fuck, like give me. How do we let go of that and give to them? Even though right now maybe we don't want to, or we do want to, but like we're scared to give. And we'll walk through some things, we'll do a bunch of content, we'll give, and then it comes back. So yeah, I'm not perfect with this one, but that's a fun one to talk through. Similar, another need I used to feel like I have, I don't have this anymore. I used to need you to, like you listening, I used to need you to change your life so that I could feel good about helping you. That was like a very strong one. I would like push people, I would force them, I would like do everything I possibly could. And I'd be like, come on, you gotta like go talk to that girl. You gotta like start that business. Come on, like you gotta lose weight. You said you wanna lose weight, let's do it. Come on, like push. Let's go. It was coming from this place of neediness. I needed you to do something amazing and take a bunch of action and change your life so that I could feel good about helping you and so that I could get like amazing testimonials for my channel, for my coaching. I could get amazing testimonials from the people that did crazy, amazing shit. And then that would make me look good. More people would come and pay my bills. I'd get validation. I'd feel like I'm a good coach. So yeah, I let this one go probably 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I don't know, some point relatively recently. In the last year or two, but that was a really strong one for the longest time. And I would get so mad, and this is what I talk about with attachment and neediness, because I was so attached to needing other people to change their life and make progress so that I could feel good about myself as a coach or a content creator. I would get angry if they didn't take action. I wasn't like unconditionally loving with people, which I am now, like if someone in our group now, in our coaching or in the community says, hey, I did nothing this week, I'm like, hey, like beautiful. Like, how do we want to take some action right now? What can I do for you? What would you like from me? Whereas in the past, if someone was like, I did nothing this last week, I'd be like, come on, man. Like, you're paying me. I'm your coach. I'm investing all this time into you. I'm getting invested in you living an awesome life. Why are you wasting my time? Like, I would literally say that. I would be like, why are you wasting both of our time? Like, come on, get out there, take some fucking action. And a lot of the time that would make people feel guilty or ashamed. And sometimes they would just like fucking run away and hide. Like they wouldn't then come to me the next week and say, holy shit, dude, I had another week where I didn't really do much. They were too afraid to tell me. So they'd just pretend or they'd lie. I even had a couple of people, maybe like 5 people in total over the last this is in the early couple of years. So in the first couple of years, I had maybe 5 people that just kind of like left the coaching, like almost like ghosted, because clearly I made them feel ashamed about themselves for not having changed their life and done all this shit. So yeah, this is something that we've absolutely let go of now. We have a whole bunch of videos in the coaching program. Like there's videos that you get as part of the coaching program to like hold your hand through the coaching program. And some of them are literally about what to do if you feel like you haven't made progress, what to do if you feel like you haven't changed your life. Like, are you putting pressure on yourself to like make the most of the coaching and change your whole life? And I have to be perfect. And I'm so scared that I won't be. I'm scared that other people will do more than me and I'll compare myself to them and I won't be good enough. Like we have a whole bunch of videos talking about that because I've completely flipped that to the point where it's like, if you feel like you haven't changed your life, and this applies to any of you listening, that's okay. Why do you have to change your life? You don't have to change your life. You can if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. What if you just take a little bit of, a few baby steps towards your goals? So I focus more now on baby steps and doing what you want and taking a little bit of action and doing that in an effortless, peaceful, loving, happy way, rather than, come on, fucking loser, you got to change your fucking life. What's wrong with you, pussy? Go out there and talk to some girls. Go to the gym and fucking dominate your goals. Like, come on, pussy. Like, yeah, I've changed that a lot. Let's talk maybe a little bit about how to let go of some of this neediness. I feel like I've covered this a little bit in this video already, so maybe I'll be super brief here. Famous last words from Andy, by the way. Maybe I'll be super brief. You all know how this is going to go. I'm probably going to talk for a little bit longer, but I'll try and be brief. So what to do if you feel that any of this resonates with you? You feel like sometimes you are attached to needing other people to validate you or love you or give you approval or think you're smart or think you're cool or think you're hot or think you're attractive or think you're worth loving or any of that. You can let go of this kind of stuff. And obviously it's like very freeing because you get to be with the person instead of in your own head, and you can be more present. A really nice way of starting with this is the mirror therapy that I said. Go look in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes in the mirror and say, I love you. And if that's a struggle, just start with hi, hello, and see what happens, see how it feels. And then maybe try saying, you're doing okay, and see how that feels. If you can do that for a couple of days in a row, like do this once a day. If you can do that every day for a couple of days, try saying, I like you, and just see how that feels. And then work up the courage, if you need to say, whew, okay, holy fuck, I love you. Oh God, that was weird. And then you run away. Fine, great. Try it again the next day. It took me probably 3 weeks of doing this before it felt normal. But I promise it gets easier the more you do it. And it's something that I've done literally every day for the last, I think 2 years at this point. I've been doing this for a really long time and I haven't missed a single day. And it's been absolutely amazing. I mean, you can see there on the screen, I'm showing it up. This is my phone. These are some of the reminders that go off every day for me to, help me remember stuff. And you see that every night at 6 p.m., it says, mirror, I love you. Go say I love you to yourself in the mirror. So I never forget that. It's been a game changer. Similarly, you can do the 50 things about yourself that are likable. Just write down 50 things about yourself that are likable so you can learn to like yourself. And then maybe the most helpful thing is this book. That is literally what this book is for. The Byron Katie book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? How to Stop Seeking Love, Approval, and Appreciation. It is literally a book about everything we're talking about here. On top of that, there's also things like Buddhism, which is very much about non-attachment and letting go of attachment and neediness, needing other people to like you or love you or approve of you or give you money or sex or whatever. But like, this book is probably the best one I've ever found. It's basically a Buddhism book and a Stoicism book, if any of you are into Stoicism. So Stoicism can help too. But yeah, I would probably start with those 3 things. Do the mirror therapy, I love you to yourself in the mirror. Write down 50 things about yourself that are likable, and then grab the book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? How to Stop Seeking Love, Approval, and Appreciation. But yeah, this can be a process. You don't have to be perfect with this. I am not perfect with this. It took me quite a long time to get even slightly decent with letting go of my attachment to stuff. But I promise you, it is such a beautiful way to live your life when you don't feel that you need things from other people, because then you're free to just love them, to just be present with them, to just sit with them and enjoy their company, to enjoy the conversation, to enjoy the interaction and the connection. It's very hard to build a strong connection. You can do it, but it's harder to build a strong connection when you feel like you need something from the other person because you're almost so focused on getting what you want, getting that validation, getting that neediness, getting that attachment, getting that appreciation, that approval, that money, that sex, that fucking pat on the head. You're a good person, all of that shit. It's very hard to build a deep actual connection because you're not really present and listening to that person. So there you go. These are my thoughts on neediness and attachment and letting go of some of that. I might end the video by showing off one of the guys in my coaching group. His name is Taylor. He's one of the coaches. And he made this video completely on his own, which I think is unbelievably fucking kind and loving and nice of him. He made this little video to just talk about the coaching program. He's very passionate about it. And he talked about how I helped him and how we help other people in the coaching program. And more than anything, I want to show this maybe less as a coaching pitch. It's a pretty good coaching pitch. Like he talks about the coaching and why it's good and stuff. But I want to show this to give gratitude to him. Like I said, he just recorded me a 5-minute video, unprompted, because he wanted to, and because he's passionate about the coaching program and he wanted to talk about it. How fucking nice is that? And I think it's really nice to see him on camera because he doesn't come on the channel very often. And this is a guy who, at the very start of when he came to me for coaching, was very unsure of himself, was very uncertain, very caught up in like jealousy and insecurity and neediness, and needing things from women, needing things from me, needing things from other people. And he's done a lot to let go of a lot of that. And I think you'll see that in this video. He comes across as very composed and calm and, dare I say it, spiritual. He's done a lot to let go of his neediness. So big appreciation to him. I really appreciate him a lot. He's such a lovely person. And I mean, everyone in the coaching program is really fucking lovely. So yeah, big shout out to him. And obviously, if you want to join the coaching program, I'll leave a link down below. And guess what? I don't need you to sign up for the coaching program. If you want to, I would love that. If you want to help me pay my bills, oh my freaking God, I would have so much gratitude for you. You don't understand how much love and compassion and kindness and effort I put into coaching my boys and my girls. Like, I put so much love, and so do the other coaches, because we're grateful, because we don't need you to be part of the coaching program. And so if anyone joins, we have nothing but gratitude. It's like a nice bonus. It's like we appreciate them. We can focus on loving them and helping them. So yeah, there you go. Link down below. Thank you to Taylor. Let's play the video.
Hey everyone, I want to make this quick video just sharing my experience having been both on the outside and inside of Andy's coaching group and kind of what it's like to be on the inside. Initially, I feel like you see Andy on YouTube, you maybe read his website, and you know that he offers coaching. I was kind of thinking like, hey, cool. I'm sure it'd be cool to like get to talk to Andy and get to learn a little bit about him. That would probably be really cool. It wasn't clear at all to me like just how much value and how much he puts into his coaching. This man will pour his heart and soul out for you in terms of like the amount of care and love that he shows to his coaching clients, like the energy and just the sheer time that he dedicates to people. It's quite impressive. It's something really special. And it's not just Andy. It's also, you know, myself now. I now help out with the coaching, and Ed and Cameron, all of us, and particularly Andy. Like, he's become quite a good coach at this point. So yeah, I feel like it's not really obvious just hearing Andy talk about his coaching program, because the way the internet is, everyone is using hyperbole, you know, these 3 things that'll change your life, on and on. You know how it is. And it's all kind of exaggerated. That's just tends to be the way marketing works. And it kind of waters it down to where none of it has a lot of meaning, or you're not really sure like what translates to what until you do take the plunge. So as someone who took the plunge and signed up for coaching, yeah, it's something really special. Andy genuinely will pour out his heart and soul for you. Like, it's incredible the amount of care that he shows people. I've experienced it myself. I've also seen it in numerous other people at this point. Like, the first week that people sign up for coaching, they're really excited. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you probably just put down a bunch of money. You took a bit of a gamble here and a little leap of faith, putting down that money and signing up for the coaching group. And by the way, it's not really a huge gamble. It feels like you took a pretty big leap of faith, and you're in the group and you're like, okay, what the hell? What is this coaching group? Like, what's this even going to be like? Pretty immediately you start to see like, oh, holy shit. Like, this is pretty special. Everyone in here is super supportive. The coaches are all showing me like a ton of love and care. Like, goddamn, I feel like this is more than my money's worth. That's basically what I want to share about the coaching program and Andy himself, is that he very much over delivers. He will pour his heart and soul out for his coaching clients, even just in the sheer amount of time that he'll give you. If he's got something to say, he's routinely writing like mini novels in response to people. He's recording custom voice notes. Often they're like 30 or 45 minutes. I mean, I know it might not seem like it because Andy does a lot in terms of content and website, and he has like other things going on, but really he focuses a ton of love and energy on his coaching group, and it's a really special experience to be in there. Just want to share that because I don't think it's completely obvious looking at it from the outside, just watching Andy's YouTube content, etc., listening to his podcast. It's not really obvious just how much you're getting and how much Andy and the other coaches are going to go hard for you. So if you're kind of in the boat that I was, where you're not really sure and you're kind of on the fence, that's my perspective. It's incredible, and Andy over delivers.